What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Wednesday, February 4th, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to our page. After suffering a series of seizures, Bobbi Kristina Brown is being treated at a new hospital in Atlanta, according to media reports. The daughter of R&B singer Bobby Brown and the late Whitney Houston was moved to Atlanta's Emory University Hospital on Monday after initially being treated at a smaller medical facility closer to her home in suburban Roswell, Georgia, CNN reported Tuesday. In a scenario eerie similar to her mother's death, Bobbi Kristina was found submerged face down in her tub. She was rushed to North Fulton Hospital and placed in a medically induced coma. However, her immediate prognosis was described as bleak. She is in really bad shape, an individual close to the Houston family told CNN. Hoping for the best, preparing for the worst, the individual said of the loved ones who have gathered at the 21-year-old's bedside, including her father, Bobby Brown, and husband, Nick Gordon. The source also shared that Bobbi Kristina's eyes had opened and closed Monday, but doctors warned the family against reading too much into the involvement. The medical team is reportedly attempting to reduce swelling on her brain, but they won't know the extent of possible damage until she's taken off prescribed sedatives, the individual said. The Roswell Police Department, which initially responded to the 911 call from Bobbi Kristina's home, did not immediately respond to multiple calls made by the rap for comment. In a previous statement, Officer Lisa Holden said police administered life-saving measures until Brown could be transported to a hospital. Holden said on Saturday her husband and a friend located her in a bathtub this morning and she was unresponsive. He started CPR and a police officer took over life-saving measures until an ambulance arrived. She was transported to the hospital. Please keep her and the family in your thoughts and prayers. Bobby Brown said in a separate statement, privacy is requested in this matter. Please allow for my daughter to deal with this matter and give my daughter the love and support she needs at this time. Asked to speculate about the involvement of drugs or alcohol in the incident, Officer Holden said, so the police took a search warrant on the home before the warrant. Initially, when the police went into the home, there was nothing that indicated that anything out of the ordinary happened. There were no drugs out in the open. Holland also added, we don't leave any stones unturned. Bruce Jenner has yet to talk about his purported transition in the media, but his mother Esther took a moment to chat with the Associated Press about the journey her son is on. The 88-year-old said that her 65-year-old son contacted her and said they needed to have a long talk. She recalls her son telling her, adding, I want to be honest about my identity, and I know this is coming out in the press. I'm at peace with what he is and what he's doing. At the same time, she describes the news as a shock. It's hard to wrap your mind around it, Esther added. Bruce is a famous Olympic athlete who won the gold medal at the 1976 Olympics. Of late, he has become more famous as the patriarch of the Kardashian family and their Mildred television series. The new series is purportedly going to follow Bruce's transition journey. Esther told the Associated Press, I never thought I could be more proud of Bruce when he reached his goal in 1976, but I'm more proud of him now. It takes a lot of courage to do what he's doing. NBC Nightly News host Brian Williams admitted Wednesday he was never on a helicopter that was forced down by the RPG, rocket-propelled grenade fired during the initial invasion of Iraq in 2003. Williams said in an interview with U.S. military news site Stars and Stripes, I would have not chosen to make this mistake. I don't know what screwed up in my mind that caused me to conflate one aircraft with another. Williams has told the story of how he and his news crew were shot down by opposition fire for years, both in books and writing pieces for high-profile publications. The latest example came Friday during NBC's coverage of a public tribute to a retired command sergeant major at a New York Rangers hockey game. Williams said on the broadcast, the story actually started with a terrible moment a dozen years back during the invasion of Iraq when the helicopter we were traveling in was forced down after being hit by an RPG. Our traveling NBC News team were rescued, surrounded, and kept alive by an armored mechanized platoon from the U.S. Army 3rd Infantry. Williams' change of story came after crew members of the helicopter that was forced down told Stars and Stripes that Williams was nowhere near their helicopter and was in a separate one about an hour behind them that was not affected by the RPG fire. That Chinook took no fire and landed later beside the damaged helicopter due to an impending sandstorm from the Iraqi desert, according to Sergeant First Class Joseph Miller, who was the flight engineer on the aircraft that carried the journalist. The helicopter pilot admitted Wednesday, "No, we never came under direct enemy fire to the aircraft." Williams has since apologized to the crew members on the Nightly News Facebook page. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have reportedly tied the knot. The couple were wed during an intimate ceremony held in their Los Angeles home Tuesday, a source told People magazine. A larger wedding is to come this weekend at Depp's private island. Depp, who's 51, and Heard, who's 28, were engaged in 2012 and met on the set of 2011's The Rum Diary. Depp was spotted wearing an engagement ring in April 2014, with the actor saying that both he and Heard had rings. Depp told David Letterman last year during a late show appearance, "I have a female engagement ring. It was too big for my girl." This is the second marriage for Depp, who was wed to makeup artist Lorianne Allison from 1983 to 1985. He split from longtime partner Vanessa Paradis in 2012. This is the first marriage for Heard. Suge Knight was rushed to a hospital after pleading not guilty to murder and other charges, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter. He was taken there for an unspecific medical condition. The LASD said the rap mogul had appeared in Compton Court Tuesday, where he entered the plea. The Downey Fire Department told The Hollywood Reporter that an emergency call was placed to the courthouse and paramedics were sent, but wouldn't reveal who needed assistance. TMZ, which first reported on Knight's hospitalization, said he suffered a panic attack after experiencing chest pains while he was in the lockup area next to the courtroom. On Monday, Knight was charged with killing friend Terry Carter, who's 55, and attempting to kill actor Sealbone Sloan, 51, in a hit-and-run incident near the set of the NWA biopic Straight Outta Compton on Thursday. He was arrested on Friday. If convicted, Knight faces up to life in state prison. A federal judge has ruled against a Wal-Mart driver involved in a crash that killed a comic and severely injured actor-comedian Tracy Morgan and several others. Director Kevin Roper had filed a motion to delay Morgan's lawsuit against Bentonville's Arkansas-based Wal-Mart stemming from the June 7th crash in New Jersey. Roper faces several criminal charges in state court, including death by auto, but he hasn't been indicted yet. He is not a defendant in Morgan's federal lawsuit, but wants to intervene in that suit and delay it from moving forward until his criminal case can be resolved. Roper of Jonesboro, Georgia, said his right to a fair trial would be hampered and that he would be, in effect, be on trial in a civil case even though he wasn't a defendant. He says prosecutors in the criminal case would benefit from information that was divulged. On Tuesday, a judge ruled against Roper and allowed the lawsuit to proceed. U.S. District Judge Michael Shipp wrote that a delay would unfairly affect the parties in Morgan's suit and that Roper didn't cite relevant case laws to back up his claims or give specific examples of how he would be adversely affected. He did give Roper the option to file another motion if information or materials are requested from him for the lawsuit while his criminal case is unresolved. Comedian James McNair was killed in the crash on the New Jersey Turnpike while Morgan and two others were seriously injured. Walmart has reached a monetary settlement with McNair's two children 2 weeks ago. The amount hasn't been disclosed. A preliminary investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board said Roper was driving 65 miles per hour in 60 seconds before he slammed into the van. The speed limit on that stretch of the New Jersey Turnpike is 55 miles per hour and was lowered to 45 miles per hour that night because of construction. Hannah Davis has landed the cover of the 2015 Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Issue, and her body is looking absolutely amazing for the annual magazine on newsstands February 10th. The 24-year-old model, who some people might recognize for being former Yankee star Derek Jeter's girlfriend of 2 years, was revealed as the cover model during The Tonight Show on Wednesday. The cover shot was taken on a farm in Tennessee, and Hannah, who was making her third appearance in the issue, assumed there was no way she'd get in the cover. Hannah said, "I told my mom there was no way I'd get in the cover. I told her they do beaches for covers, and I'm on the farm. There's no way it's not possible." And she also added, "I've always enjoyed the whole swimsuit experience," and said that anything extra, a little square on the cover or anything like that, was a bonus. But still, this was my dream. After literally years of waiting, Jimmy Fallon finally had a Saved by the Bell reunion. It was amazing. In the sketch, Fallon remembered his old high school days at Bayside, and almost the entire show's cast returned to relive some of their best moments. A.C. Slater, played by Mary Lopez, broke out his dance moves, Zach Morris, played by Mark Paul Gosselaar, called a timeout. Kelly Kapowski, played by Tiffany Amber Thiessen, brought her cheerleading gear. Jessie Spano, played by Elizabeth Berkley, got so excited, and Mr. Belden, played by Dennis Haskins, was up to his old shenanigans. And just for an added twist, Fallon even recalled one of his best Tonight Show moments by telling the group he wanted to date Nicole Kidman one day. Yet it wasn't the entire original cast, but it was alright because it was still saved by the Bell reunion on The Tonight Show. Taylor Swift scores a Billboard Chart milestone with her latest album, 1989. For the 10th non-consecutive week on Billboard's 200 charts, Taylor Swift's 1989 has surged to number 1. The site underlines that Swift's the second woman in history to have multiple albums reach 10 weeks at the top. T. Swift joins Whitney Houston, who notched the milestone with 3 albums, her eponymous debut, 1986, Whitney 1987, and the Bodyguard soundtrack, 1992-1993. Swift's other double-digit album, Fearless, which reigned as number 1 for 11 weeks from 2008 to 2009. Swift nailed the feat after tallying 71,000 1989 sales last week, a figure that's not particularly high for a number 1 contender, which usually is in the 6-figure ballpark. The other musicians in this elite chart club includes the Beatles with 4 albums, the Kingston Trio with 3, Elvis Presley 3, Henry Mancini 2, and the Monkees 2. It's not easy to upstage a diva on the order of Diana Ross, but the legendary star's glamour was undeniably overshadowed by the venue in which she performed Tuesday night. It was Brooklyn's King's Theater, now reopened after closing nearly 4 decades ago and failing into a massive disrepair. Having received a restoration to the tune of some $95 million, the theater, seating more than 3,000, is now once again the borough's largest. Opened in Flatbush in 1929, shortly before the Depression hit, it was one of the 5 wonder theaters built by Lowe's in New York and New Jersey. Hosting film and vaudeville, the lavish movie Palace featured interiors inspired by the Palace of Versailles and Paris Opera House. It survived until 1977. Barbra Streisand regularly attended movies there in her youth before being allowed to deteriorate. But now it looks once again magnificent with gorgeous interiors featuring terrific sight lines and superb acoustics. It marks a new major venue for such stars as Sarah McLachlan, Gladys Knight, Sufjan Stevens, Frankie Valli, and Crosby, Stills and Nash, slated to appear in the coming months. The grand reopening featured Ross performing the same reliable hit-laden shows that she delivers for years. It opened as usual with the sound of her singing "I'm Coming Out" from the back of the house, with her proceeding down the aisles towards the stage while being thronged by fans. Hit after hit followed, beginning with a string of Supreme songs that established a nostalgic mood. She performed a healthy selection of her solo albums, as well as covers by the likes of Dusty Springfield, The Look of Love, Billie Holiday, Don't Explain, from Lady Sings the Blues, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Tyrell with Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. There was, needless to say, numerous costume changes, 5 in all, with the 70-year-old singer looking resplendent in a series of glittery gowns and frequently cooling herself with a large fan. Sounding in fine voice, she was accompanied by a terrific 12-piece band and 3 backup singers. The 80-minute show proceeded at a frantic pace, with the star barreling from one number to the next. It was until late in the evening that she acknowledged her surroundings, marveling at this beautiful palace and commenting, "I feel like a queen." Giving instructions to turn the house lights up, she instructed the audience, "Take a look around, guys. Can you see how beautiful this is?" For the reprise of the Gloria Gaynor anthem, she brought her daughter Rhonda and son Evan on stage, the latter accompanied by his now pregnant wife Ashley Simpson and her 6-year-old son. It added a nice family element to a celebratory evening that marked the new beginning for the historic venue. And finally, just a week after the Super Bowl halftime show performance, Katy Perry is coming in with yet another live spectacular. Billboard has learned that Perry is preparing a performance for this weekend's Grammy Awards. The singer is planning to bring, by the grace of God, a touching ballad off her latest album, Prism. Perry describes the song where she details contemplating suicide in a 2013 Billboard cover story, saying, "That song is evident of how tough it really was at a certain point. I asked myself, do I want to endure, or should I continue living?" The move to turn the tempo down is resonant to her 2011 Grammy performance when she opened with Teenage Dream love song Not Like the Movies before moving into Teenage Dream. There's no word if she's prepping a melody or sort of sticking with grace. We also learned the star is producing a highly visual spectacle with dance elements playing a central role. Perry is the latest performer in an already stacked-up lineup that includes Madonna, Kanye West, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, and more, all taking the stage on February 8th. And that's your entertainment report for Wednesday, February 4th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of the show on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report and it'll take you to that page. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.